Music.
Yeah. The thing about mundane jobs is they're better than me life.
Welcome back to Sly Cooper is sticking his hook in my trousers again. If you dig deep enough, you might find a jewel.
I've not played Sly, so I'm assuming you collect jewels.
You go around poking around in people's trousers.
Do you? I'll have to get
Yep.
on that one. I've only got number two. I'll have to get the HD collection if you're poking around in people's trousers. Hasn't he got a crook though, not a hook?
Same thing, innit? Crook and hook.
No, hooks are like you'd have hooks everywhere. Like Captain Hook doesn't have a massive long staff on his arm, does he? A crook
No.
is like a sheep thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like one of those vaudeville things that they used to have in the theatre to like pull people off the stage.
A vaudevillain. No, what?
Vaudeville. Vaudeville.
Oh, I'm getting mixed up. There was a tag team evil wrestling called the Vaudevillains. I think it was
Mm.
based on that. You definitely with your uh middle class cadence know more about vaudevores than me, so you can be the expert on them. Um, Thank you for coming listening. I just want to say we've changed the way we do the start. So normally I would edit the start and put in a little joke that we'd said either before recording or in the middle of it. And now just to save a bit of time on editing and stuff like that, we come up with them on the spot. Now, Boxy obviously always introduces uses microtransaction with a silly name like he just did there. And I could see you laughing when I said my line there, and I've now made it my goal to make something so funny you screw up your lines when it is your turn to introduce the podcast. So that's my new goal: is try and be funny, which maybe should have been my goal a bit earlier.
Well, good luck with that.
Mm.
Which brings us nicely onto our topic for conversation, mundane conversations. Well, no,
No,
mundane tasks in video games. So, most
d-
video games put you in a state of disbelief, putting you in some situation that you never even dream of. But every now and then, particularly in the last 10 years, they started to bring out games which are actually quite boring, but they're still quite stimulating and engaging at the same time.
I think there needs to be an like some sort of university, not investigation. What do you call them? Whether like research, university research done on why people hate doing mundane, repetitive things in real life, but you make it into a video game, and Christ, it's all you want to do. And I mean, me included. There's so many of these. When we were thinking of these things, I think that is a really mundane and boring job, but I will sit there for hours and do it.
Ben Yahtzee, who's fully ramblomatic, he kind of was talking about it, and he's saying that people like it because they actually like the job, but they just don't like all the other stuff that goes with it, like the mess, the organizing, the getting stuff out. But they like the idea of a job well done because there is a
Yeah.
sense of achievement, there is a sense of doing progress and actually doing tasks.
Mm.
So that's why people like it.
I when I was thinking of these games though, I came up with a few boxy, but I had to split them into two, I think, distinct genres of like because they're basically simulation games, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, those simulation games that we have out there. But I had a sort of group of games that I'd played and enjoyed, or I'd seen and I want to play, or want to have a little sort of play around with, that are, I'd say, straight simulations. You are doing what you do in real life. But there's also a few games that I thought about and thought, actually, they're sort of gamified simulations. So
Mm.
I'll let you know when I get them what I mean by them. But the the first one I thought of that I didn't really think of at first because I was thinking of the really obvious ones was I thought about things like city planning. I bet city planning of where you put this house, that house can't be next to there. We need some electricity is a really boring job. But stick it into SimCity, stick it into Skylines, City Skylines, and I will be there for hours mapping out roads and just sitting there going, "That's a nice little cul-de-sac." And that is not just me being middle aged. That was me as a kid. SimCity 2000, I played the crap out of. Have you ever been like a city builder player?
No, I never got into it, but I never played PC really.
Yeah, I suppose it's only until recently they've had the power to sort of have those. And Even when you play them on console, to be fair, it is a mouse and keyboard game,
Yeah.
definitely. Because I was also going to put Roller Coaster Tycoon in there, but I thought, is being a theme park designer a mundane job? And I thought, no, designing roller coasters and all that type of stuff is not a mundane job.
I had Jurassic Park Operation Genesis on
Yes,
PS2, which was like a park builder game, but you had to make sure that dinosaurs were always fed and were away from the people and they didn't eat the other
yeah.
dinosaurs and stuff. So I got into that a little bit. But no, I mean, to me, it's strategy. So I never really clicked with it all that much. I mean, for me, I've only got into the boring stuff in the last 10 years. So pa
Give us that list. Give us that list. Come on.
Power
What
Wash
what
Simulator,
a
Power Wash
new
Simulator. But you know what? Whenever I used to do a video and Power Wash Sim came up, the amount of people who said, I
yeah,
love Power Wash Simulator, it
yeah.
chills me out, it relaxes me. It's just coloring in for adults. That's all it is.
Hmm.
And you
So yeah,
do
that
feel incredibly achieved. Like you feel like
watch.
you've really done something when you've pressure washed a huge playground or a tower or a bike or something like that.
Good is I've never played it, but I look at it and I want to. And what pulls me in as well is there are DLCs for like Final Fantasy VII and I think Tomb Raider where you're
Yeah.
doing like vehicles and stuff from the games, and that would be quite good. But I think I just enjoy the normal one. But I hate to ask you this in front of listening ears, but what's your favorite nozzle?
A big girthy one.
Yes, all I've seen is that you can choose that. Well, you were talking about being relaxing and stuff like that. Another thing that's it's a really mundane job and really boring to do, but was quite therapeutic and relaxing when I played it. Is a game called Unpacking. Have you ever heard
Oh
of
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
A game called Unpacking. It's sort of like a cartoon-esque anime-y. No, not anime, just cartoon sort of stylization. But you're basically unpacking someone's things when they've moved into a house, and it's there is a sort of narrative because it is one character. So you start off in your sort of putting all the stuff into the her sort of bedroom when she's a teenager and stuff. Then a second one, she goes to university, and you're putting her so and she's got female clothes. That's how I know it's a girl. You don't see the characters or anything. You just see the room, but everything like has its place and you can put it in, and because like stuff's everywhere. Because you've got boxes, you open the box, you get an item. Right, where's this going to go? And then it goes to like where the point where she's moving a house, so you've got the full house, and you can go around the rooms and putting it in. But it's this cool, really sort of subtle written narrative where like you can tell at one point she's moved. You don't see characters or any scripts, but you finish the room, you go to the next room. She's moved in with someone, and you can't fit her clothes and her stuff
Mm.
everywhere. And there's like things like a photo she's had from when she was a teenager. She had it in college, she had it in her first room with whatever, and things like that. You can't fit them in. And this guy's proper, like, sort of um neat freak. Like all of his things are like it's like sort of minimalistic, and she's not like that. It's more like cozy aesthetic. And then obviously she splits up with them, and you've got all that stuff back and you get it. And it's really cool how they brought like that. But you're basically doing a job that is hell because I have moved very 3, 4 times in my life, and packing and unpacking your stuff is absolute hell. But for some reason, it's just fun. But I think it's because you know everything's got its place. You don't have to think about where everything goes. It's just like that's gonna go there, that's gonna go there, that's gonna go there, vice
But I think it's
versa.
that narrative that makes it fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And seeing things and going through.
My other
But
one, and it kind of ties into a boring job, but with the narrative that kind of holds it all together, is Papers, Please, which is
I
just sorting paperwork.
yeah, I've got that on a list. I've got a list of few games next of that I've not played, but I really want to have a go on it. And I've got Papers, Please. I've never played it.
It's so
Um,
good. It's you're at border control, and I think it's in the Russian Soviet sort of period, and you have to check people's passports and passes for getting into the country, and you have to check for mistakes and certain people can't come in because of their like areas where they live, and some people are on like day passes, other people are not, and they give you a set of rules every single day with what you must follow, and you have to check people for weapons. You have to like question some people so to see if they're lying, and sometimes you have to play on. You can give people sympathy because they're saying like their family's over there and they're dying. So you can make mistakes and you can let people through, but it kind of docks your pay, and you have to take care of your own family. I mean, the whole game looks like it's made on Microsoft Paint,
Yeah. It
but
was it originally a 3DS game where the top screen is you can see like the person at the window and the bottom screen is their actual
yeah.
game,
So
basically.
I got it on PS Vita, which is
Oh, right,
great
okay.
because you can use touchscreen
Yeah.
for all the stamping and everything like that. But yeah, that's a game where you can just play it for hours and time just flies by because you get so locked in. And the guy did, his name's Toby Fox, I think, and he made Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh yes, I love that game. Yeah, great game.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Another game
he's
that looks
really,
like it was made on Microsoft Paint. But yeah.
yeah, he's like so good at taking a really simple idea and doing a lot with it.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
so that was really good. That was my other one.
Well, there was one. There's loads that I've seen recently, and it ties in with Papers, Please. And I think there's been an advent of them because they seem to pull people into streams, so a lot of streamers play them. So there is a one called Border Patrol Police, which is I've seen online people playing, whereas it's a car come through and you have to look for contraband and stuff in the car. And I was thinking of that one, but the one that I've seen people playing like that I really want to do. There's one called Retro Rewind, which is basically you work in blockbusters. Like
Oh, cool.
it's the 90s, and obviously I think all the films are like a play on words and stuff like that. And I don't know if there's an actual goal, but loads of people are playing it on. And I think the reason they grab people in is because if you go through, there'll be so many people playing Dark Souls and blah 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 blah. And if you're not really a gamer, you see this person playing this game where they're working in blockbusters. It's immediately sort of intriguing and things like that. But I think that would be cool
Yeah.
because I've not played many of the games like this, like sort of historically. There's a game that I'm going to mention, but I'm going to keep it because it's a game I'm playing at the minute, and I'll mention it on next week's episode. So tune in to episode 52 if you want to hear about it. And I mentioned it last on the 50th episode. It's called Arcane. Sorry, it's called Librarian. Tidy up the Arcane Library. And it is the most mundane job. I will let you know about it next episode, and that's got me thinking about would I enjoy these? But because when I was thinking about them, there was other games that I thought of where they are mundane jobs in real life, but they've gamified them. So I started thinking of things like Overcooked, which is basically being a chef or being a sous chef. But
Mm.
that is not a simulator, is it? You know what I mean? That is based on being over the top fun. Um, and then I started thinking, would you class Death Stranding as like a mundane job? Because you're basically, until you get like later through and you've unlocked everything like that, your first thing is you've got a parcel and you've got to walk across fields and mountains to deliver it where it goes. You know what I mean? You're basically like an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Uh, and I love that game. But if you told me, do you want to be an Uber driver? I said, fuck off. So I don't know that because is Death Stranding gamified? I mean, take the aspect of delivering it, obviously shooting the tar monsters, the things they have to avoid and stuff like that. But you could just imagine the tar monsters as like chavs on the high street. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Throwing chips at you and stuff like that. So although actually they're ethereal beings that if they touch you, they could destroy the world and kill you. I'd much rather go up against them than a lad in a Bear USA trackie with a fake Burberry hat throwing chips and vaping. You know what I mean? So it's basically the same thing. So
I was thinking, I haven't played it, but kind of in the same vein. There's a new game called Dispatch, which is out, and
mhm.
you're a guy who sends superheroes to various tasks. I th
Supposed to be an amazing game, you know.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I think a lot of it is like choose your own adventure story
Yeah,
choices based,
yeah,
but there is gameplay where you're sending superheroes to jobs who have various stats, and you have to pick out who's best for who. And I suppose that's like a police respondent sort of job, isn't it?
yeah.
Sending them
It's like
into
any,
tasks.
well, it's like any dispatcher, isn't it? Like a ambulance, police, fire station. It's basically what you're doing, but obviously, again, it's been sort of gamified at that point where it's obviously superhero, so it's fun. But I've heard the writing and everything in that because it's like you say, I think most of it is like an again the aesthetics of it remind me a little bit of there was an anime on Amazon called Invincible.
Mm.
And it reminds me of that sort of aesthetic with like sort of a bit of a neon blush over the top of it, but it looks really cool. And I've only heard good things about it. Only heard good things about it. So that's definitely in my backlog. The thing is did it come out on PlayStation or was it only PC? I need to have a look at this.
I don't know. I know Aaron Paul's in it, and
Is he?
he always does a good job.
Does he say the word bitch? Because isn't that his like whole
Yo,
shtick now?
Mr. White.
Oh, you can get a Nintendo Switch.
There you go.
See, the thing that kills me about these games is, as you can see, if you are watching the podcast on Spotify or on YouTube, because we don't mention it all the time, and obviously, like my new viewers in, I'm a physical collector. Boxy likes to be a physical collector as well. We've got a lot of games between us. Dispatch won't have, I don't think, a um, physical copy. It's one of those
Mm,
games that came out, gets lauded as amazing. There's another game out came out as well recently called Mixtape,
yeah.
which is a similar game, which is getting lots of praise. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm not playing it, but check it out if you've not heard of it, because it's supposed to be very good. But I know for a fact that won't have a physical release until maybe it gets good and it's later down the line. But when I hear about these things, I'm like, I want to play that game now. But I hate it because I think, right, I'll buy it and then it'll kill us that I own it digitally. And I know that's an old man and a stupid thing to do.
No, I'm the
Like,
same. It's like Mouse PI. I'm waiting for that to come on physical before I play it.
mm,
Same as Hades 2. I really want it on physical, but there's just nothing out there at the moment.
is Hades 2 no, it released physically?
No, it's on Switch 2, but I haven't got Switch 2. I want it on PS5.
Ah, right. Okay, okay, okay. And is it going to get a release or?
I don't know. I've looked up a few times and they said there's nothing official out about it, but they did with the last one, so I would hope they would.
Yeah, yeah.
Never mind.
It's probably just those evil geniuses at Nintendo got some sort of deal on where they can't be released on other consoles for a while, so they get all the money. I feel like I know you want it on PS5, but oh, you haven't got a Switch 2. I was going to say it feels like a Switch game. That feels like a very much I think roguelites, and if you don't know what a roguelike or a roguelike game is, it's where you sort of make progress, and when you die, you go all the way back to the start, but you might save some powers and things like that. But I think they're ideal for like journeys because you don't
Mm.
have to, you know what it is, you don't have to get too like a seafood or something like that. You don't have to get too much into it. You just put it down and pick it up, and you're at the same sort of spot you are. So it feels like a very, but surely Hades 2 could run on a Switch One.
No, I don't think it's out on Switch 1.
I
I mean,
know, but
since they released the Switch 2, fuck all's coming out on Switch 1 at the moment. But anyway, that's an argument for another time. Well, that was jolly good, wasn't it? So that was Sly Cooper is fumbling around in my trousers again. It's not a jewel, it's my testicles.
you just completely away from the innuendo there. So it's next week. It's gonna be, oh, me penis.
100% cock.